On the world news, President Trump tells Georgia election officials to find votes to overturn Joe Biden victory. Oxford AstraZeneca COVID vaccine rollout begins in UK. And South Korea sees more deaths than births in 2020. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on the World News. I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. And now from the home scene, public and private schools in Edo State are to resume full academic activities on the 18th of June 2021. In a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Edo State Ministry of Education, Stella Maris Imaswen, the directive is in compliance to the directive of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 regulations. According to the statement, all school heads, principals, and proprietors of private schools in the state are expected to comply with the directive. The General Manager, Independent Television, Senior Elder Ogbedo Wonse, has been promoted to the Office of Director, Independent Television and Radio worldwide. The letter of promotion personally signed by the investor, Chairman Managing Director, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Igbenidian, the SML Benin, said the elevation takes effect from Monday, 4th of January 2021. It also pointed out that Senior Elder Ogbedo Wonse was promoted in view of his high level of competence and commitment to the ideals of the organization. The promotion letter said since his assumption of office as General Manager of Independent Television and Radio, Benin City, Senior Elder Ogbedo Wonse's performance has been exemplary in view of several innovations and improvements he has brought to the organization. The SMA advised Senior Elder Wonse to justify the confidence reposed in him by being more productive and putting in place sustainable machineries to move the stations to greater heights. With his promotion to the Office of the Director, Senior Elder Ogbedo Wonse is to oversee all the branches and formations of independent television and radio worldwide. A day after New Year celebration, a woman, Mrs. Austin Ohe, has successfully given birth to quadruplets. Mr. and Mrs. Austin Ohe say what ought to be a thing of joy has turned sour because of lack of funds to offset the bills incurred during the delivery of their quadruplets at a private hospital in Benin City. Amenzo Obaishagmo reports that the babies are in good health.
Mother of the quadruplets, Mrs. Rita Oehe, said she is grateful to God for granting her safe delivery of the 2 boys and 2 girls, but appealed to kind-hearted Nigerians to assist her and her husband financially to pay the hospital bills as well as take care of the babies, as she previously had 5 children prior to the birth of the quadruplets.
As I born this 4 baby with normal delivery, I thank God for giving me the strength to deliver and normal. I come back Nigeria, may they help me, may they support me, may they help me for feed discharge, and may I see money to feed them. May they contribute, may they not leave me. As they help me, God will bless them. Things will open for them. Who they need because God will see blessing as He bless my own.
Doctor in charge of the hospital where the babies were born and some family members also appealed for assistance to help the parents take care of the babies.
Delivery went successfully and we have 4 babies, 2 boys and 2 girls. Now the challenge for the family is that presently the husband is not working, the woman is also not working. They have 5 children prior to this set of quadruplets, and so they would need assistance. So we are appealing to all public spirited and philanthropic individuals.
I beg that 4 children, we know if we take care for them. I beg you now, make you now help us take care for them. My papa not get work.
No one can't help me, I beg. My pikin don't born 4. I beg, no one can't help me.
All donations should be made to ITV Corporate Headquarters, Glass House, Airport Road, Benin City. Ameze Obaishagmo. reporting.
Ogun State government has suspended the Commissioner for Environment, Abiodun Abudu Balogun. Mr. Abudu Balogun was suspended from office over an allegation of sexual harassment of a 16-year-old girl identified as Barakat Mayowa Malojekun. In a statement issued in Abeokuta, the Secretary to the State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, announced the suspension of the Commissioner pending the conclusion of an independent investigation into the allegation. He explained that the state government decided to suspend Abudu Balogun to enable him cooperate fully with the independent investigation being carried out by the police. Talabi assured the residents that the state government would do everything necessary to ensure that justice was served in the case. It disclosed that the suspended commissioner has been directed to hand over the permanent secretary at the State Ministry of Environment. The coalition of northern groups says it is dragging President Muhammadu Buhari to court over the continued retention of the nation's service chiefs. The coalition spokesperson Abdulaziz Suleiman stated this while speaking with newsmen in Kaduna. The coalition said the service chiefs have overstayed, especially with the security situation in the north, which has worsened, hence the need for the court to compel President Buhari to remove the service chiefs from office. The CANG urged and argued that there were laws guiding the appointments of the service chiefs, which must be followed to evolve the system. The organization said it would explore the laws when they appear in court. The Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, has disclosed that the Special Public Works Program, which would engage 774,000 unemployed Nigerians, will kick off nationwide tomorrow. Keyamo, while announcing this on his Twitter handle, explained that President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the commencement of the initiative. The program, designed to employ 1,000 Nigerians from each of the 774 local government areas in the country, was initially scheduled for launch on October 1 last year, but it ran into hitches following the disagreement between Keyamo and the Director General, National Director of Employment, Nasser Laden, who was sacked last month. Each of the 774,000 workers will earn 20,000 naira monthly for 3 months. Duration of the job amounting to about 46.4 billion naira. You're watching the world news on independent television. Still to come, President Trump tells Georgia election officials to find votes to overturn Joe Biden's victory. Details and more when we return. Stay with us. And thanks again for rejoining us on the world news on independent television. U.S. President Donald Trump has been recorded telling Georgia's top election officials to find enough votes to overturn the election results. In a recording released by the Washington Post, President Trump told Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger that he wants to find 11,780 votes. But Mr. Raffensperger is heard replying Donald Trump that Georgia's results are correct. Roslyn Eborame has details.
In excerpts released by the Washington Post, Mr. Trump was heard alternatively cajoling and pressurizing Georgia's Secretary of State. He insisted that he had won the election in Georgia and told Mr. Raffensperger that there was nothing wrong with him, saying he has recalculated the election results. He told Mr. Raffensperger he should re-examine the results in the state.
You can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Mr. Rafa Spenga responded by saying that the data with President Trump was wrong, pointing out that Georgia's results are correct. President Trump then threatened the official with possible legal consequences. Reacting to the audio recording in Georgia, Democratic Vice President-elect Kamala Harris described President Trump's comment as a bold abuse of power.
It was, yes, certainly the voice of desperation, and it was a bald-faced, bold abuse of power.
However, the White House has not commented on the release of the audio. Joe Biden won Georgia alongside other swing states, winning 306 electoral college votes to Mr. Trump, who polled 232. Since the November 3 election, Mr. Trump has been alleging widespread electoral fraud without providing any evidence. All 50 states have certified the election results, some after recount and legal appeals. Congress is due to formally approve the election result on 6 January, and Mr. Biden, a Democrat, is due to be inaugurated as president on 20 January. Roslyn Emurame reporting.
Many of England's primary schools are reopening today, with rows contending over whether pupils should return restrictions. There is also uncertainty over how many classes could be closed after advice from a teachers' union that it is not safe for staff to be in school. The Department for Education said switching to online teaching will be a last resort. Adding to the uncertainty, some individual local authorities have raised concerns about reopening. But Prime Minister Boris Johnson has urged parents to send their children to school, saying the risk was very low. First doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca coronavirus jab are to be given as the UK accelerates its vaccine program to tackle a surge in cases. Roslyn Oram again reports that more than 500,000 doses of the vaccine are ready for use today.
6 hospitals in the UK will begin administering the Oxford AstraZeneca injection today, with 530,000 doses ready for use. According to the Department of Health and Social Care, most other available doses will be sent to hundreds of GP-led services and care homes across the UK later in the week. The Health Secretary described it as an important moment in the UK's fight against the virus, as vaccines will help curb infections and ultimately allow restrictions to be lifted.
Vaccine, as soon as it's manufactured and then goes through the crucial safety checks, which obviously are very important, and getting it into the NHS and delivered into people's arms. In fact, we've been able to accelerate that process because we now know that you get your protection after the first dose, and the second dose can wait until 12 weeks away. That means that over the first few months of the programme, we can effectively vaccinate twice as many people as we would have been able to otherwise. And obviously that is very good news in terms of protecting people and saving people's lives.
As the recent rise in COVID-19 cases puts increased pressure on the health workers, the UK has accelerated its vaccination rollout by planning to give both doses of the vaccine 12 weeks apart, having initially planned to leave 21 days in between injections. The UK's chief medical officers have defended the delay to second doses, saying getting more people vaccinated with the first injections is much more preferable. Roslyn Eburame reporting.
The Royal Mint has announced that the 95th birthday of the Queen of England will be commemorated on one of 5 new coins released this year. The 2021 British coin collection will also mark the 250th anniversary of the birth of novelist Sir Walter Scott and the 75th anniversary of the death of author H.G. Wells. The release of a £5 coin is typically reserved for significant royal events. In April, the Queen will become the first UK monarch to reach 95. The new £5 coin depicts the royal cipher and not a part of our 1957 Christmas broadcast, which was the first to be televised. as the queen's head already appears on one side of all coins in circulation. These £5 coins will each offer a different depiction from the various stages of her reign. Experts have raised concerns over India's emergency approval of locally produced coronavirus vaccine before the completion of trials. On Sunday, Delhi approved the vaccine known as Covaxin, as well as the global AstraZeneca Oxford jab, which is also being manufactured in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi touted the approval as a game changer, but health experts warn it was rushed. Health watchdog or India Drugs Action Network said it expressed shock at the development. It said there are intense concerns arising from the absence of the efficacy data, as well as a lack of transparency that would raise more questions than answers and likely will not reinforce faith in our scientific decision-making bodies. South Korea has recorded more deaths than births in 2020 for the first time ever, raising fresh alarm in the country which already has the world's lowest birth rate. Only 275,800 babies were born last year, down 10% from 2019. About 307,664 people died. The figures prompted the Interior Ministry to call for fundamental changes to its policies, pointing out that a declining population puts intense strain on our country, apart from increased pressure on public spending as demand for healthcare systems and pensions rise.